Good morning.
This is the day. This is the day that the Lord has made. That the Lord has made. We will rejoice. We will rejoice and be glad in it. And be glad in it. This is the day that the Lord has made. We will rejoice and be glad in it. This is the day. This is the day that the Lord has made.
Oh, that's so good. And oh, it's wonderful to have y'all here. And we have Steve Cleverly, our wonderful board member, prayer chaplain, here to lead us in the gathering prayer.
Good morning, and it's so good to be up here and actually see real live people. and hopefully soon we'll be able to see all the pews filled and more pews in here and more people, and that'll happen. I want to share something a little bit different this morning, if I may. I'm reading a book by Eric Butterworth called The Universe is Calling, and in it he has a centering practice that he does, and kind of in line with what Reverend Gary's been talking about with in the oneness. And it's where when you inhale, you go, God is. When you exhale, you go, I am. So close your eyes and just try that for a second. Just and no special, but your regular breathing. Just center yourself and go, God is, I am. God is, I am. And if that doesn't center you in the oneness, keep doing it at will. And I now want to digress just a little bit and taking with what he has done and take it one step further in centering our oneness with one another and our oneness with solutions, God's solutions to our issues. And that is, I want you to visualize somebody, family member, friend, coworker, somebody maybe at the grocery store that was rude, somebody that cut you off, somebody that you have an issue with. Important that you visualize this person. Breathe in, God is. Breathe out and looking at and seeing that person, you are. God is. You are. See that person being this in the center, centered in God, just like you. You are. God is. Now, want to take it one step further? Think of an issue you may be thinking about personally. It could be a health issue. It could be a prosperity issue. It could be something like trying to lose weight and you no longer lose the weight that you want to lose. You're stopped. Visualize the solution to that. Visualize, if it's a prosperity issue, where you want to be. If it's a health issue, the healthy you. If it's a weight issue, the weight, the appearance that you want to be. And just visualize and inhale every time. God is, you are. It isn't the issue, it's a solution that God is. You are. If you can do this, and anytime that issue or that person comes up in your mind, just take a few moments, inhale. God, I promise you that's centering in God, that oneness. And I share that with you because it has worked very well for me. And I want to say I love you all.
Thank you, Steve. And it is just so good to see all y'all here and those who are blessings. And unity is a spiritual community that fosters for wholeness and for an intimate connection with the divine. We do this through affirmative prayer and meditation that opens us to realize our oneness with God. Now we honor the light that lives in all religions, for we know the light shining through every stained glass window, through every mosque, dome, cathedral, temple, or church tent is this very same light shining in us. And we call that light God. Now we know that what we experience is based on Eve. And when we say addiction, it ignites intent. And so it is. And that really is the very message we need to get on every cell of our being. It's so true. And it's the first Sunday of the month, so it's always a start by looking at our 12 faculties. Wrote a foundational book called The 12 Hour of Power. The color is, and it's the ability to master, have control. It's a good one to use our power with.
Okay, celebrated on May 1st is the Wiccan holiday midway between the spring equinox and the summer solstice. It honors spring at its peak and is embraced by Wiccans who light bonfires, dance, and perform, including the maypole.
And May 5th is Cinco de Mayo, is honoring the defeat of the French army during the Battle of Puebla in Mexico in 1962. It's seen as a day to celebrate the culture, achievements, and experience of the people with Mexican background who live in the United States. Cinco de Mayo.
On May 9th, the Muslims celebrate Laylat al-Qadr. Holiest night of the year is traditionally celebrated on the 27th day of Ramadan. It is known as the Night of Power and commemorates the night that the Quran was first revealed to the Prophet Muhammad.
And May 9th, which is next Sunday, is Mother's Day. Now, Mother's Day celebrates motherhood. It's the time to appreciate mothers and mother figures. Many people give cards or gifts, flowers, candy, a meal at a restaurant, other treats to their mothers, mother figures, including grandmothers, great-grandmothers, stepmothers, and foster mothers.
Shavuot is celebrated on the May 16th to the 18th and is a major Jewish festival held on the 6th and usually 7th of Sivan, 50 days after the second day of Passover. It was originally a harvest festival, but now also commemorates the giving of the law, the Torah.
And May 31st is Memorial Day. This commemorates all men and women who've died in military service for the United States. Many people visit cemeteries and memorials on Memorial Day. It's traditionally seen also as the start of the summer season. And that's our diversity for this month. So let's honor these days as we go through this month. And an important announcement. In transparency, we want to tell you that once again, our accounting runs in a dip. Sometimes there's payroll and insurance and things. We ended up with a low cash balance. And this put into the responsibility of the board of what to do. Now, we have over $17,000 in our prudent reserve, which is there whenever we need it. And that's a board decision to use it. We withdrew $7,000 from the prudent reserve to cover those checks, and the commitment of the board is to have that replenished into the prudent reserve on August 1st. So thank you, board, and thank you all. And now, our congregational song, Joyful, Joyful, We Adore Thee by Henry Van Dyke. Welcome to stand and sing out if you're able.
Joyful, joyful, we adore thee, God of glory, Lord of love. Hearts unfold like flowers before thee, opening to the sun above. Melt the clouds of sin and sadness, drive the dark cloud out away. Giver of immortal gladness, fill us with the light of day. All thy works with joy surrounding earth and heaven reflect the rays. Stars and angels sing around thee, center of unbroken praise. Field and forest, vale and mountain, flowery meadow, flashing sea, chanting bird and flowing fountain, call us to rejoice in thee. Thou art giving and forgiving, ever blessing, wellspring of the joy of a living, ocean depth of happy rest. Thou our Father, Christ our brother, all who live in love art thine. Teach us how to love each other, lift us to the joy divine.
You may be seated. I love poetry. And mystic poets have that truth within their calling. And Kabir was a 15th century Indian poet. And this poem, The Flute of the Infinite. The flute of the infinite is played without ceasing, and its sound is love. When love renounces all limits, it reaches truth. How widely the fragrance spreads. It has no end. Nothing stands in its way. Love. I love that we're in this time of spring. I love that we have the forethought to come together in peace and love. And as we've been looking at the 5 attributes of the golden key, which Emmett Fox established, which really his maxim is, if you have any problem, if there's any challenge, rather than focusing on the problem, focus on God. And so these Sundays, we've been looking at these aspects, and this third one is God is love. Now, we know this is truth. We know that. How would it be if we chose to let love be our guide every day of our life? Now, I think there's a challenge in this because, at least for me, it's like I wake up and it's like I'm in this human journey. And in the human journey, all of my senses are focused outside of me. What does it look like? What does it smell like? How does it feel? It's all pointed outward. But God's unconditional love, all that God is, has nothing to do with my senses. Has nothing to do with what is happening in my environment. And yet, God is everywhere present. So let's look at our co-founder, Charles Fillmore. And he says, it is the law of spirit that we must be that which we would draw to us. If we would draw to us love, we must be love. Be loving and kind. If we would have peace and harmony in our environment, we must establish it within ourselves. It seems simple enough. But the challenge is that life happens. And we forget this oneness with God that's so important. In truth, can we really have a full life if we believe there's anything more than one power. I don't believe we can. I don't believe we can experience oneness, love, joy, peace, abundance, and prosperity if we're believing there's more than one power. Is my fear more powerful than God? Does my fear really have any power at all? This is why it's important to look at this facility of power that we have. What we think, what we believe, creates our experience. If that sounds like I'm repeating myself, I am. Because every Sunday it's like there's really like 5 things to talk about, and I just keep talking about those same things. And they're all based in the law of spirit that God is love. Now, there's all kinds of love, but there's only one kind of divine love. God love is that unconditional love, where absolute acceptance no matter what. Now, it's easy to love those that we love. It's really easy to love those that we love. In my journey with my partner Owen, we've had 32 years of looking lovingly no matter what. Even in disagreement, even in health challenge, even in moving across the nation. Love no matter what. But how easy is it for us to focus that unconditional love on the neighbor keeps doing that thing that annoys us, or that boss, or that person we see on television that we have opinions about? It's important for us, if we want love, we need to be loving. That means being accepting. It means forgiving again. Now, this is not new. It's not new thought. We didn't just drum it up with Charles Fillmore waxing words on a page. No, it's been around a long time. And in Scripture, there's lots of places about love. And here we have 1 John chapter 4, verse 16. God is love, and those who abide in love abide in God, and God abides in them. That's pretty basic. God is, I am. God is, you are. It's like that simple prayer idea is a map to arrive where we already are. It's been written about and talked about, and we still resist accepting the truth. I'm getting better at remembering that God is love, that only love is true, that God is everywhere present, and that there's only one power. But I have to admit that there are times when I unhook from the truth and wallow around in my fear and my doubt and my lack, and not again. Why does this have to happen to me? Do you ever feel like that? That's giving our power, that's embracing something that isn't God. Because if God is love, God's not also corruption or disenfranchisement or a slippery slope. And we can accept this truth by choosing daily to remember that God is, I am. Because God is love. James Dillip Freeman was a wonderful minister, an incredible poet who's had 2 poems go to the moon on those moon missions in the 60s. There's very little that goes on those space capsules. Very little. And 2 separate trips, his poetry went to the moon. I think that's pretty amazing. So he's Unity's Poet Laureate. He was also head of the Unity School for many years, and he says, when we believe that God is love, we love. That is all. When we love, we give ourself and all we have. That might seem it's a little extreme, but that's what it takes. As spiritual explorers, as spiritual beings, as true students, we need to come to a place where we're willing to step in fully. We're willing to embrace the truth that God is love. Now, our co-founders, Myrtle and Charles Fillmore, in the late 1800s, very early in their relationship, sat down and wrote a covenant. And they basically said, okay, God, we give you everything. Everything that we have, everything that we are, to you, God. And we expect that you will provide for us whatever we need, whenever we need it. Let's do it. Now, that's paraphrasing. It's a beautiful covenant. But they did this. They got to the place where they gave everything that they were to God. And then practiced their life, their play, their work, their joy, their relationship, their kids to God. And when we do this, we truly can love. Because then no one is a mistake. No one's a problem. No one's broken or unacceptable. We live in a society of us and them. We live in a society of dualism and challenge. When we clean the slate with love, we can approach people we have a disagreement with and accept that their opinion is just as valid as our own. And there's great power in that, because then we can be in the same room together. If we're not able to love, then we're just digging a little trench of me, myself, and I, and hunkering down to fight it out again and again and again. And as true students, we need to step out of this and awaken that God is. There's only one presence, one power in the universe and in our life. And then we can live, move, and have our life in God. God is, I am. God is, you are. It changes everything and changes very little. It's a change of perspective and attitude, but we still have to chop wood and carry water. The car's still going to need gas. We're still going to need to eat something a few times a day. We're still going to need to get sleep. All that living stuff's going to stay pretty much the same. But our mind will stop judging. Our mind will stop fearing. And our heart will start guiding us to an opportunity where we can find reconciliation. We can honor forgiveness as a tool that we can do every day. I love Martha Smock. She was head of Daily Word for many, many years. In her wisdom, she's a wise woman. To love one another is to behold God in another. To see beyond the little self to the greatness that is always trying to break through. If we take an attitude that love is, we can see that in anyone, where we might otherwise have had a judgment or opinion of they're not worth my time. There is no one not worth our time. And I actually think that I get deeper spiritual food when I can focus my forgiveness and my energy, sharing my love with people I used to think of as enemies. Or as, oh, they're so different from me. They don't understand me. And all I need to do is open my heart and go, how am I being not understanding of them? This is our role as people in a wonderful community that holds these spiritual truths as law. Whenever we behold another, you don't behold someone in fear, you behold them in love. And to bring this discussion to a close, I draw upon the wisdom of Thomas Merton, a great author, a great theologian. And he says, to say that I am made in the image of God is to say that love is the reason for my existence. For God is love. Love is my true identity. Selflessness is my true self. Love is my true character. Love is my name. My name is love. Let's say that. My name is love. How does that feel? It does feel good. Because after we've looked at some of these ideas and whatever's come up in our heart and our mind in this discussion, it's waking us up to that this is love with a capital letter. It's not puppy love or manipulative love or temporary love. It's divine love. And when we do honor and accept that we are in the image and likeness of God, of love, that's our very makeup. And this is so important as part of our journey of looking at the golden key. No matter what the problem, no matter what the challenge, no matter what the fear, no matter what the doubt, no matter what the lack, God is. just turn our focus to God. And if God is a concept that's just too big to look at, because sometimes it's really big, turn to love. Turn to complete acceptance. Turn to owning that we are in the right place. God puts us in the right place at the right time to address whatever we need to address. And then we can walk together. Because where two or more are gathered, we can join together and find how can we better serve our community? How can we better serve the greater community? How can we better serve our neighborhood? Because loving is not an act we just go, love. It takes action. It means doing something. And our hearts are wired in God. And God will give us exactly what we need to do, whatever we need to do to extend love into the world. And it might be loving the planet. It might be loving the people that you're in line with at HEB. It might be awakening that love is exactly where you are whenever you are. Sitting in the dentist chair with your mouth open, love. Love will change us. Love is. So let's take these ideas, this reflection, into meditation. And allow the unity singers to allow us to settle into this now moment.
Go within, go within, go within, go within, go within, to the one inside, go within. Let it be your guide. Go within. Touch the truth. Go within. Know it's you. Go within, go within, go within, go within. Sabe tu varenyo, go vasi mahi, yo yanap choriya. That Sabbath of Arenium, or Devasya Dhimahi Yo Yana Prachodayat Om Bhurabhuvaswat Om Tat Savato Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Yo Yana Prachodayat Om Bhurabhuvaswat Om Tat Savato Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Yo Yana Prachodayat.
Going within. Resting here now. Breathing in and breathing out. Setting everything aside and just being present now. There's a deep well of peace within us. Be there now. There is a recognition and knowing of love within us. Be there now. I invite you to ask yourself, ask your deepest self, am I ready and willing to let love be my guide no matter what? Am I willing to open up my heart and let the intelligence of my heart guide me through every circumstance? Spring is a time of renewal, of God's infinite presence in life, color, and sense. This is where we are. Open ourselves to the presence of God's love everywhere present now. And as we again invite in that simple prayer that Steve offered in the gathering prayer, breathing in, God is. Breathing out, I am. God is. I am. God is love. I am love. God is love. I am love. God is love. I am love. Let's take that breath into the silence. with grace and honor, we accept that there is only one presence, God. That we are the children of God. That God is love, and I am love. This golden key is expanding my awareness. And we choose to take from whatever we've received in this journey of how to inform our day, our week, our life. And so as we shift to our regular breathing, we awaken ourselves by wiggling our fingers and wiggling our toes, rolling our head. And when we're ready, we open our eyes. Awaken. And then we'll affirm the affirmation that goes with today's talk. Together, I live my life from the love that I am. I live my life from the love that I am. I live my life from the love that I am. And so it is.
Now is the time of the service that we have the opportunity to give. And when I was pre-Unity, this was a part of the service that I dreaded the most. But since Unity, I've come to realize what I receive is so much bigger and better than what I actually give. And there are a number of ways that we can give. Various, like the myriad of ministries we have, the wonderful Unity singers give, the magic that comes out of the audio-visual booth, the facilities care and watering of the plants that we have here, and the dedication of the children and teaching the children in Sunday school, all different ways of giving. Simple prayer is a way of giving. Joining the prosperity prayer at 8 o'clock in the morning is a way of giving. And of course, much needed is the financial way of giving. And whichever way or combination, it is good. And if you would join me in our offering, and this Sunday is Prudent Reserve Sunday. So if you are so inclined to contribute to that, if you would separate and let us know which is which, so that we can make sure that the Prudent Reserve does go to the Prudent Reserve, it would be most appreciated. And if you would join with me in our offering celebration, our offering affirmation, and put it on your heart, and it goes as this: divine love now fulfills my every good desire. I rejoice in my happy, prosperous life right now.
And we celebrate with the walk of abundance. And so if you're able, please come forward, place your offering, or there's the cards in the pew racks. I'm an electronic giver if you're that. And if you're online and you want to donate, you can write a check, you can go to our website, or right now on your screen there's a QR code, and if you put your smartphone up there with your QR reader, it takes you right to the donate area. This is a blessed time to celebrate, and as you make your offering, pick up an affirmation. And those online, you can go to our website. We have a virtual affirmation bowl that you can collect an affirmation. Let's celebrate with the walk of abundance. Dear God, we bless these offerings, this free will love, and all these forms of love, and for our prudent reserve, our seeds that give us a strong foundation to do what is ours to do. And this is our way of a loving expression. We know that your gifts are matched with God's providence and love. And we see those gifts returning back to you many-fold over. Thank you, God. Bless this life. Bless this world. Bless this community. Amen. Thank you. Oh, it's been so long since I picked up an affirmation. Today I remove the mask that hides who I am. I find my voice sending a clear message to the universe about what's important to me. In return, I experience more good in my life. I think that's a keeper. And now we are blessed that our prayer chaplain, Steve Cleverly, will be available immediately following the service by calling 830-608-9515 if you want to just connect one-on-one in prayer. You can always reach out to our prayer chaplains by sending an email to prayerchaplainsnb@gmail.com. Prayer works, and that is exactly what started this unity movement, is prayer. And with that, we have been doing a daily prosperity call. There's several of us here in the room that are on that call every morning. You're invited to join us. And if you can't call in at 8 o'clock, there is a prayer, and it's always in our e-newsletter. Right at the end of the newsletter, we have a new one for May and June. So we're going to do that this morning. You can join me in saying, we have the power to choose positive expectations for Unity of New Braunfels. We have faith in each other, and we carry this faith to all of humanity. We are grateful that we have all that we need. We know that the universe has an unlimited supply of abundance and is supplying us and our community right now. At this moment, prosperity manifests before our eyes. We approach it with creativity and embrace it with curiosity. We are creative people, and we're open to new ideas, opportunities, and to other people. We delight in discovering new possibilities for service to our church community and beyond. God-life energy overcomes every obstacle and pours out into the world, blessing and prospering everyone and everything through Unity of New Braunfels. We radiate blessings. We radiate health. We radiate prosperity. We radiate loving service, joy, beauty, peace, wisdom, and power are our birthright, and we claim them as our own. And so it is, and so we let it be. Amen. I invite you to join us by saying this prayer every day, whether you're on the 8 o'clock call or not, and seeing, because when Unity of New Braunfels is thriving, as it is, doing so well through this global pandemic, we are rich in abundance. And I do believe it's our consciousness, our prosperity prayer consciousness, that awakens that for us. It's good. Now, we do have the ongoing Zoom session following the service, a virtual fellowship. Today we'll ask questions, make comments, or talk about the talk. Welcome to join that. And now, special music with the Unity Singers, Only Love is Real by Ron Bretsky.
Simple like love, and nothing takes me higher. Take away the pain grown from selfish desire. No matter what the tragedy, no matter what seems taken, when I'm living my life to give, oh, my life cannot be shaken. Only love, only love is real. Only love, only love is real. Only love is real. I can't change my mind 1,000 times, and love remains the same. Only love is real. Only love is real. And if I feel that I've been wrong, let that feeling be beside me. That anger takes me down a long dark road. My eyes are open but I can't see. Forgive and be forgiven. More than words will live. I throw my vengeance into fire. A simple like love is gonna move me higher, 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 higher. Only love, love, yeah. Only love is real. Only love, only love, yeah. Only love is real. Only love is real. Changed my mind 1,000 times, and love remains the same. Only love is real. Only love is real. Over and over and over, I see what it always does for me. Over and over and over, I see what it always does for me. Over and over and over, I see what it always does for me. Yeah, over and over and over, I see what it always does. Only love, only love is real. Only love is real. It changed my mind 1,000 times. Love remains the same. Only love is a real.
Thank you, Reverend Gary. Wonderful message today. Ron, Kelly, Emily, thank you. Beautiful music. And to our AV crew, Owen and Marty, for making the magic happen, thank you. And to all of you in here, we thank you. And to all virtually, we thank you for being here. And remember, God is, I am, you are. And would you join me in closing by singing the Song of Protection along with the Unity Singers?
The light of God surrounds us. I am the light of God. The love of God enfolds us. I am the love of God. The power of God protects us. I am the power of God. The presence of God watches over us. I am the presence of God. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well.
Thank you for joining us today right here at Unity of New Braunfels. All of you here present in the physical and those of you on live stream. We appreciate you, and we have so much happening in our community. You can go to our website, get our e-newsletter for all of our upcoming events. And with that, I know that you're loved because I see you as love. Namaste. Thank you, Steve.